And he says, so when you're being tempted, he says, no one has the right to say, God is tempting me. You can't say that. He says, because God has nothing to do with evil. He says, God can't be tempted, nor does he tempt anyone. God is perfect. The Bible says God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all. He's completely separate from sin. So when sin comes in and temptation comes in, don't blame it on God. It has nothing to do with him. But we want to blame. We got to blame someone, right? I mean, that's the way it was from the beginning, wasn't it? Blame. What happened? Do you remember Adam and Eve? What happened when Adam sinned and God confronted him on it? What did he say? She made me do it. Right? Those were his words. That woman you gave me. Those were his words. She did it. Everything was fine when I was by myself, and then she comes over. Hey, coochie, here's the apple. And it's like, he goes, it's all her fault. I was totally fine, and then she, tempted me. And so God looks at Eve and says, well, what do you have to say for yourself? What does she say? The devil made me do it. It was that serpent, the devil. It's not my fault. The devil made me do it. And so all along it's this blame game. And I thought, in my mind, I thought that it was like a 21st century thing, or a 20th century thing where people now are going, well, it's God's fault. He made me this way. I thought that was something that we came up with. In our generation, well, God made me this way, so he can't blame me. But you see that James confronts the same thing 2,000 years ago. People are saying, well, it's God's fault. And James says, hey, when you are being tempted, he goes, let no one say. No one should say. It's actually the imperative. It's a command there. The verb is a command. Don't you dare say that it's God's fault. He goes, you have some reverence here and understand that God is completely separate from evil. He's not tempted by it, nor does he tempt anyone. That has nothing to do with him. So don't you dare say it's God's fault. God made me that way. But we love to blame. So who do we blame? Verse 14. But each one is tempted when, by his own desire, he is dragged away, enticed. By his own evil desire, he is dragged away and enticed. So whose fault is it? He says it comes, the literal words are, it comes under his own personal longings. The source of the temptation is from within. It is you yourself, your own personal longing. That's what's coming out here. It's not God doing something to you. It's not God tempting you. It's something inside of you that longs for these things that are outside of God. And he says, so when you're tempted, don't you dare blame it on God. Simple rule. Whenever you are tempted, it's your fault. And yet all day long I hear people go, but she made me so angry. Do you understand what she did? She's the one that seduced me. It's her fault. Well, God made me this way. He's the one that gave me the desire, so ultimately it's him. We just keep blaming. I've been going through such a hard time. All these trials, don't you get it? And so I needed some sort of relief. I'm prone to addiction. It's in my genes. I can't help that. I'm prone to it. And my accountability group, they haven't called me in weeks. It's their fault too. And what do we want? We want someone to come to us and go, okay, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, right? You just want to hear that so badly. And then you read the Bible, and what does the Bible say? It's your fault. You got this evil inside of you, and you're desiring it, and so don't blame anyone else. It's your deal. No one has the right. No one has the right, no matter what you've been through. I mean, if these people that James was writing to, remember, they're being dispersed everywhere. The persecutions come. They've seen family members die. They're out in the world, and yet still James says to them, look, you still don't have the right to say. Even though you're going through a hard time, even though you're tempted to sin, don't you dare put that on God. That's coming out of you. It's your desire. You're being enticed. You're being dragged away and enticed. And I like this word for enticed because it was a hunting term or a fishing term. It's the idea of a hook. And obviously this isn't enticing. So what do? I brought some worms, gummy worms, and it's this whole idea of what you do to a fish, because this word is the idea of drawing a fish away from its retreat. And it's about dangling something. Okay? This is what Satan does to us all day. He just kind of goes, come on, just take it. It looks good, doesn't it? Just take it. He's doing everything to entice you out of this place. He's doing everything to entice you out of your family. He's trying to do everything to entice you. Come on, just take it. And and the hook's covered up. Come on, you can't tell. And it's the same thing we do with a fish, just kind of luring it out of its retreat. Come on, just take it. Because the moment that fish takes it, you got him and the fight is on, right? And it's that same idea. And the thing is every once in a while, we're wise enough to not take the bait. And so what does Satan do? Give up? No? He goes, okay, that didn't work. All right. Guess they're not going for worms today. Here's $100. All right, here we go. Come on. I got this last service. Come on. You just take it. And then suddenly it's like, okay, and because it's like, come on. You guys don't have to be at church this morning. You could be making some of this. You're sitting here, you lose money coming here. You throw it in the plate. You could follow me and actually get some of this. And he just keeps switching and switching. Okay, money's not going to do it for you? Let me try something else. All day long this goes on for us, right? Where Satan just goes, okay, ooh, ripped it. Oops, that's illegal, huh? Okay, but it's this whole idea of, man, things are just being dangled. But the truth is that's not even a correct reflection, I don't think. I mean, to me, it's like we're bombarded here in Southern California. It's not even like one thing. This is what I feel like living in Southern California. This is what it feels like. It's like you're just, oh man, all around. It's like everywhere you turn, it's like, man, something is tempting you. Don't you feel like this? So what do?